welcome to Couch Convo with Tracy. This is our first episode and I am super excited. It has been too many delays to count, but guess what? We weren't denied, and that's great. Our first episode today is going to be about being a single parent. Single mother to be exact, because it's about me. I'm going to talk about myself. To Jesus. The plan was never to be a single mother. Me and my best friend, since we were little, always talked about, how we're going to get married. We're going to go to hair school and be a cosmetologist, which I do have my license, own a salon, and me and my best friend both are cosmetologists. Life just went totally opposite than what we planned, but hey, life happens, and nobody has a booklet to tell you how to go through life. You just have to take the cards how they come to you and figure it out yourself. Me and my kid's father, we have been together. We were together on and off for 18 years or more. The longest that we were out of a relationship is recently. We've been out of a relationship for almost 6 years. I think maybe even 5. June will make 5 or 6 years. I lost count at some point in life, but it's in between 5 and 6 years. When we were actually dating each other, we were on and off no longer than 6 months to a year. I actually realized that this time was going to be the last time when I started thinking differently. We weren't on the same page. I wanted more out of life. And we just we weren't elevating at the same pace, and we weren't on the same page as far as what we wanted in life and who we wanted it for. Once I started having kids, it changed my entire life. Like, I knew that, hey, you gotta stop acting off impulse, and you have to start thinking about how you react to things and people so that you won't end up in an orange suit. That took a while. But sometime in my life, I became a single mother. I'm not going to sit here and tell anybody that being a single mother is easy. And I'm not going to tell you that it's hard. I'm just going to tell you that you have to have a support system in place, and you have to have people there that's going to back you to ease the load a little bit. I sometimes get overwhelmed with life, having to be dragged from this place to that place and needing to work so that I can provide for me and my kids. And sometimes I just sit in my car some days and not move for 20, 30, 40 minutes. Because I need that time to collect myself and to get some type of peace so that I can stay sane, so I can be able to move accordingly with my kids. So being a single parent, it isn't easy. You have to have that support system. And for me, it's just me. It was just me and my mom. But now it's just me because my mother is older and I don't get the help that I used to get from my kids, which for me, it made me stronger. It made me realize that, one day she's not going to be here, and either God sends me a loving, caring, understanding man to help me with my kids and build a family, and we get married. I'm going to end up doing it on my own, and I'm okay with it. I have been single for, like I said, between 5 and 6 years. I'm very particular because I'm a single mother of the type of man that I date and the type of man that I bring around my kids, which that is going to be for a later episode, because, Jesus, this single parent life is crazy when you care about the environment you provide for your kids. Now, if you don't care about the environment that you provide for your kids, then that's a whole different story. People don't really, look into their companion. But me, I'm real particular about my companion and who I have around my kids it just really depends on who you are and what your goals and values in life are. It's really up to you. But as far as being easy, it has made me stronger. Like I said, it made me tell myself, listen, girl, you got to go out there and you got to get it done. And I have accomplished so many goals in the past 4 or 5 years. I have accomplished so much, and I am so proud of myself. And even being a single mother and knowing or getting to the point where you can do it yourself, like, it makes you so proud of yourself. Like, it makes you feel like, oh, if I can do this, I can do anything, because whew, I have a set of twins that I'm taking care of by myself. Can you imagine how that is? Oh, Jesus. It takes me too long to get out of the house for anything because they're only 6 years old. I'm nearly almost late for work because they're boys and they just take forever once to get ready. They play a lot. They're real rough, even early in the morning. So really, it's really difficult with twins. I have a 6-year-old, 2 6-year-olds. Like I said, I have twins, 13-year-old and 17 and 22. And let me tell you, raising teen girls is another thing. In a nutshell, like, oh my God, it's a lot. But I stay consistent with my kids. I talk to my kids all the time about anything, even about the other parent not being present. Like, I don't say anything bad about him in front of them. I actually let them see what type of person he is for themselves. My 13-year-old and my 17-year-old. And I let them kind of figure out their relationship, or whether they want to have a relationship or not, themselves, because you don't want to, have any resentment, have them have any resentment for you. Now, I'm not telling you that I have a good relationship with my kid's father, because I don't even talk to him, because of the simple fact that I am a single mother and I'm doing it all on my own, where I shouldn't have to, whether we're together or not, I shouldn't have to do it on my own. But like I said, sometimes we are put in positions where we have no control over, how another person acts, reacts, what their plans are. We just have to go with the flow and try to keep ourselves sane and stay in our position. Like, I'm a mother before I am anything else, and trust me, I put on my mother's hat and I back my kids 100%. And trust me, listen, I don't play about my kids, and that's just a part of being a nurturing mother. Like, you're going to go to bat for your kids. Now, when my kids are wrong, I have no problem with, sitting my kids down and telling them they're wrong, or even letting them know that, hey, you're not doing what you're supposed to do. XYZ has to be taken away from you. Like I said, being stretched from this place to that place is kind of hard to keep up with them, but I'm doing the best that I can, and I'll be on top of it. I'm on it. Sometimes I gotta get some help from somewhere. Like, listen, these kids they not listening. I don't know what to do. I'm stressed because I have my health to take care of and still trying to take care of them. Sometimes I can't even get out the bed, but I gotta get out. I gotta get out, and I gotta do what I have to do to take care of my kids, because if you're a single parent, who else is going to do it? Even if you're not a single parent, who's going to take care of your kids like you take care of your kids? Who's going to do that? I don't think too many people are. I mean, everybody has their different way of parenting. And It's okay. We might not even agree on the parenting skills. But hey, this is life. You just have to take it one day at a time. And when you feel like you're overwhelmed with things, just take a break. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to have 5 minutes, 10 minutes to yourself, even if it's just relaxing in the bathtub with some candles and soft music. You are going to always need that time to have that mental break, or you will crash. Like, it has been many times where I wasn't able to have that mental break, and I just felt like I was about to have a nervous breakdown. And because I have a 22-year-old now, like, my older kids are like, we'll take the kids out, we'll go somewhere together. And that's one thing that I have taught my kids, to stick together, because I'm 40 years old, and you may think because I'm young, I'm going to always be here, I'm going to live just as long as you, but that may not always be the case. So one thing that I teach my kids as a single mother is to make sure that even if I'm not here, y'all make sure y'all stick together, y'all take care of each other. Like, even my 6-year-olds, I teach my older kids to take care of them, because they're so small and they need somebody to take care of them. They need somebody to look over them. If one day God decides to call me home, Lord forbid, it's anytime soon, because I really want to live long enough to see my kids be successful in life, because I am doing everything I could possibly do as a single mother to pave the way for them. And that's one of the things that, if you have goals for your kids, that you have to do. You have to set the example. I personally, in my opinion, feel like it's my priority to pave the way for my kids. Like, my kids that are graduating, are my child that's graduating and my child that have already graduated. Like, they don't teach financial literacy in school. So even when they get to that age to try to, understand, or where they can understand things, that's my ultimate goal. Because I don't want you to get out in the world and struggle. I don't want you to even have to go through life being a single parent, because it's not easy. I want you to think about your career, how far you can go in life before you decide that, or even get married, before you decide that you want to have kids. And like I said, that's always the talk. When you're younger, that's always the goal. But when we get out in this real world, we think that we are above all things, and we end up getting connected with people that really weren't meant to get connected with. And that's because we don't understand life. And it's okay, once again. I mean, that's a part of life. Trying to understand things on our own and going through life on our own. Like, I never try to put myself down because I didn't make the decisions that I should have made, like how I planned for in high school. I don't do that. I always tell myself that, you know what, God, whatever you do, let me follow your lead. I know sometimes my flesh gets overwhelmed, and I even say, when I'm praying, God, move my flesh out of the way so that I can hear and understand what you're saying to me when I'm going through, or where I need to be, where I'm trying to find a way to get to where I need to be. But I was in my 30s when I started thinking like that. When I was in my 20s, it was like, hey, party. I had my first child when I was 17 years old. It was my parents' first grandchild. So I never really had to experience being a parent until I had my second child. But even then, it was like, okay, we still can enjoy life. So it wasn't until I got in my 30s where I started thinking like, okay, this is getting too much. This is not what I thought it was going to be. So I had to get out. I finished college, get out, get a job. Even when I was in college, I worked 2 jobs and went to school. But the biggest problem there was I didn't know how to manage my money. So when I was out here living single for those 6 months to a year, I was blowing money. Of course, I bought my kids nice things that they really expensive clothes that they really didn't need. And just living life. But as I got older, I realized like, hey, I wanted a new house. I needed to learn how to budget. I needed to learn how to save money and not always go out to eat and try to cut back on the shopping. I'm still working on that. I mean, that's hard because I am a shopaholic, and that's the hard part, but we're not going to talk about that either. That's for some other topic, but not this podcast. So we're not going to talk about that. So that, I had to make some adjustments in life. As far as even budgeting. As I got older and had more kids, I wanted a nice vehicle. I wanted a nice home that each one of my kids can have their own room, and now I do. And part of being a single mother was one of the reasons I couldn't get it done, because I was focused on my kids. Everything that I do in life, I include my kids in it. Like, how are my kids going to feel about this person if I bring this person into my life? You know, how are they going to react to my kids? How are my kids going to react to them? Everything that I do in life is based on my kids. Me being where I am today is because of my kids. Like, I've never been on a job for more than 2 years. And I have been on the job that I'm on now for nearly 10 years. It's a long time. For me, it's a long time. So those are just some of the changes that you have to do. Like, where I work, I had to say, okay, because normally if it ain't for me, it's not for me. And I just be like, God, move me. And I don't even used to say, God, move me. I used to move myself. But now I really have to get into praying about what moves I make in life, because I want to make sure that I make the best moves for me and my kids. And that's what being a single mother did for me. It made me think about my kids. It made me think about life more, how I move, what direction I go in, just the level of success that I want in life, what type of environment I want my kids to be in. Like, the negativity and the drama, that's not what I want my kids to see, which is why I have changed my life around. And I'm doing things differently now just so that they can have a positive environment. And one more thing. Do not think that because the other parent has decided to skedaddle that it's the end of the world. No, definitely not the end of the world. Sometimes it's best. Sometimes the relationships are so toxic because one person has healed and the other person hasn't, that the relationship gets so toxic that it doesn't make a good environment for the kids. So with me personally, because I don't want to talk about nobody else, I want to talk about me because I can relate to me. For me personally, when my kid's father decided, okay, I'm going to do what I'm doing in life and I'm not going to include my kids, for me, I felt like it was the best thing ever. And that may sound harsh, that may sound unrealistic, but our relationship, even as co-parenting, wasn't the best. And yeah, kids need a dad, especially boys, but I'd rather my kids be placed in an environment where they are able to see how a man treats a woman and how a woman should treat a man, and without all the negativity. So my kids come home and they see mommy doing everything. And even when I was dating, I think maybe 2 years ago, the guy that I dated, like, he stepped in. He really stepped in for my kids. He has been, they loved him. It was just dating, and it was just not. It was an okay relationship, but I'm real particular about how I even interact with somebody, the energy between me and another person. Like, you could be good with my kids, you can love them, you can step up. Even if it's just encouraging them to do better in life, or even applauding them when they do something great or grand in their life, or even when they're wrong, just sitting down and talking to them. One thing that I liked about him is that he applauded them when they did things, and they liked him. They loved him. Like, they still be asking me about him. But I also have to think about the type of energy that you bring to me. And like I said, I'm very particular even about the energy you bring to me, which that would be falling in the category of relationship. So we're not going to go there, because this is about being a single parent, single mother. So I'm not going to go there. But my time is running out. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any thing to say about this podcast, if you have any topics that you would like to talk about for our next episode for next Wednesday at 7 o'clock, you can leave a message under this episode and I will be glad to talk about it. We might even do a live at some point once we get to that part in life. But before I go, I just want to encourage another single mother, because I know that it is hard, trust me. And I know that even if it isn't hard, I know sometimes in life it gets overwhelming. But you have to understand and believe and have faith that you're in the position that you're in because there is a bigger message, a bigger plan for you. Like I said, I never talk bad about myself or talk down on myself because I'm in this position, because it's my fault really that I'm in this position. But I just ask and pray to God to get me out so that I will be happy and be able to exist as a single mother for whatever time period God allows me to. Because we all want to be in a relationship. We all want to give that family dynamic to our kids and stay optimistic about it. Because just because it's not going on now doesn't mean that it will never happen. You are dealt the cards, but you don't have to move how the card tells you to move. You're the player. You're playing the game. You have the option to do something different. You have the option to not go this direction. My biggest thing is to pray about whatever moves, or even meditate about whatever moves that you decide to make in life, and continue to be the best version of yourself. See you guys next episode. Love you.